Good afternoon, cadets. It's Lieutenant Colonel Baker here with the fourth in the series of health and nutrition. This one is body image, right? Composition, BMI, nutrition, fitness, okay, body mass index. This one has a lot of calculating and exercise to do also, like the nutrition class. So let's get started. All right, as always, here's the essential question. How can you develop a healthy body image? Okay, some of you might not have a good image of themselves and the way they view how they look. Okay, with some of these, we can dispel some of the myths in this class and also help you have a healthy body image, okay? Because that's what we all want to maintain is a healthy body image. All right, so think about what you know about a body image. You can see the different shapes that are on here. There's 5 of them. All right, so trying to look like a model or athlete can be unhealthy and realistic. True. Okay, so here's some of the learning objectives. We'll define body image. Matter of fact, I'll define it right now. The way you see your physical self. We'll go over body composition, the balance, the exercise and calories for your appropriate weight. And now I'm going to get into defining some key words. We start off with body image, the way you see your physical self. Body composition, the ratio of body fat to lean body tissue, such as bone, muscle, and fluid. Body mass index, a measurement that allows you to assess your body size, taking your height and weight into account. Empty calories, calories that contain little nutritional value. Sugar. Basal metabolic rate, a measurement that shows how many calories you burn when you're doing nothing. The endocrine system, parts of the body that produce hormones to regulate metabolism, growth and development, tissue function, sleep, mood, and other aspects of the body. Fasting, not eating for long periods. Obsession, an emotional state in which something seems so important that you're always thinking about it. Anorexia nervosa, an eating disorder characterized by self-starvation leading to extreme weight loss. Bulimia nervosa, an eating disorder in which a person eats large amounts of food and then tries to purge the food. Okay. Okay, so what I want you to do is get some, pull out a magazine and look at some of the people that are in there, and what do you notice about them? Are they different from each other? How are they alike? And do you want to look like any of them? Okay. Okay, so do those ads include people with a variety of body shapes and sizes? Yes or no? Would you describe the images of the people you looked at? Were they normal, extremely thin, or overweight? Do the images you looked at Do you think the images that you looked at were altered to make people look better? Yes or no? Photoshop. What is the main mood of the people you looked at? Happy, having fun, unhappy, or neutral? All right, so think about if you feel good about the way you look. Okay, here we have the body image, the way you see your physical self. You see that in the mirror. She's skinny, but she sees herself as overweight. Okay, they have a negative view of themselves. You should recognize that no individual weight or body type is ideal for a specific age. Your body will grow and change throughout your teen years. A few extra pounds now, for example, could disappear in a few months after you grow an inch. Someone who feels too skinny may gain weight after he or she stops growing. Physical activity will also have an effect on your body weight and shape. I can tell you guys that probably the body image is probably worse for my age group, okay? Because we remember back when we were young at your age and we were skinny or muscular, and now we look at ourselves and after time and 50 plus years, weight has settled into certain areas of our body that we just can't seem to get rid of. We lose our hair, things like that. So don't think that it's only teenagers that go through this body image problem. Okay, we are going to view
body shapes change as you grow. For example, if you are short and have put on weight, it could be that the extra pounds will look very different when you grow a few inches. Some people just gain weight before growing taller. If you are tall and skinny, you might feel like you're all arms and legs. Don't worry. You may gain weight and fill out after you stop growing in height. Remember that people come in all shapes and sizes, tall, short, curvy, straight, plump, and skinny. Don't judge yourself or others by shape and size.
Okay, so here we have some images throughout time and what was considered awesome looking, right? You can see how Mona Lisa in the early 1500s in the Renaissance, she was rather plump. You'll notice that the actress Lillian Russell in the 1900s, very skinny waist, but rather large hips. We would not view that as looking good in our era. Then you have Babe Ruth, who was an athlete, a baseball player in the 1910s to the 30s. Okay. There were stories about him wolfing down like 5 or 6 hot dogs before he went out to play a baseball game. Okay. And now you have these dancers from New Zealand, and that's the haka that they're doing. Okay. Depending on the culture that you're raised in, things you view things, body image, a whole lot different. Okay, a whole lot different. All right, so I know in the military you have a height and weight standard, so you can only weigh so much based upon your height. If you're over that weight, then you get taped, and they figure out your body mass index, which we'll do. Comes out as a percentage, and you can't be over that. If you are, you can get kicked out of the military. So here we have the body composition, which is the ratio of body fat to lean body tissue, such as bone, muscle, and fluid, okay? 45% in the male is muscle, and a female is 36%. Okay, the essential fat for a male is really only 3%. You'll see that it's 12% in a female, okay? And non-essential storage fat, it's higher in the females. It's higher for bone, is the same as the other. Okay, so depending on if you're male and female. Okay? In our previous lesson, we learned about the first three elements of fitness, right? They are aerobic capacity, muscular strength and endurance, and flexibility. Now, the fourth element of that is body composition. And we'll learn one way to measure this body composition is to use the body mass index, or BMI, which is a measurement that allows you to assess your body size, taking your height and weight into account. Okay? So we will go through that and learn how to do that. So here is the formula for body mass index. Okay, this is what the Army uses if you're overweight and you get taped. BMI is used as a screening tool to identify possible weight problems. Okay, so if we take my weight, which is 207, let me sit here and do the calculation. Let's find out what my body mass index is while we're on this. Okay, calculator. Where's my calculator? Here's my calculator. So 207. Well, wait a minute. Let's just do, okay. My height is 71 inches. So that's times 71. Okay. And it's divided by my weight, 207. Okay. 24%. Actually, I'd still be good with the Army right now. That's fantastic. So mine is 24.35%. That's how you calculate that out. Okay. I want you to read the excuse me, weight problems and diet section in your student textbook. Okay, so what does the body mass index tell you? Okay. Okay, so the Center for Disease Control website has a BMI calculator for teens. You can enter your age, weight, height, and gender into the calculator, excuse me, and it will tell you if your BMI is too high. So go on to the CDC's website and check that out. Right? So being overweight or underweight is unhealthy. Yes, if you're underweight, it's unhealthy. Okay? People who are overweight weigh more than the appropriate weight range for gender, height, age, body frame, and growth pattern. People who are underweight weigh less than the appropriate weight range for your gender, height, age, body frame, and growth pattern. Okay, because of pressure placed on young people from family, friends, and social images, they can become overly concerned that they have a weight problem and obsess over it. Okay, in reality, most young people don't need to lose or gain weight. In fact, unnecessary dieting can interfere with normal growth and development. There's a different BMI age growth chart for boys versus girls, so you got to remember that, right? All right, the shape you have as a teenager will remain with you for most of your adult years. That is false. I wish it was true for me, but it's not. I weighed 175 when I graduated from high school. Now I weigh 207. Thin, muscular body types have always been considered attractive. Okay, we know that is false. Mona Lisa, that one actress from the 1900s, Lillian something. Body composition is the ratio of body fat to, you guessed it, lean body tissue. Which of the following is not a health risk for people who are overweight? That's right, that's anemia. Anemia is low iron in your blood, and not high blood pressure, diabetes, or heart disease. People who are overweight are more likely to, that's right, break your bones than people who have a normal weight or underweight, not overweight. And so they're extremely skinny and they have brittle bones. Calories in many processed foods are absorbed by the body the same way as calories from high fiber foods. That's false. Your body deals with it differently. That's why you try not to eat all the processed foods. One, you get addicted to them, and you're a repeat customer for those food companies. Okay, so think about what is a normal weight? What is a normal weight? All right, so let's go to exercise 1. Okay, directions. Read the descriptions in the left column for each one. Decide if the person is underweight, overweight, or was within the healthy range of weight for his or her body. Okay. So here we have Tom, Tessa, Melanie, Howard, Jack, and George. Here's the answers to that. Okay, Tom was under, Tessa was okay, Melanie okay, Howard okay, Jack over, George okay, and Tammy okay. Did anything surprise you about any of those answers? Right? So has what you've learned so far changed the way you think about body image? If it has, explain your answers. All right, so think about how to manage an appropriate weight. I want you to read managing your appropriate weight. In your student text, right? If you think you might be over or under your appropriate weight, you should check with your healthcare professional. Okay? This person can analyze your situation and suggest the best approach for you to manage weight. The most successful weight change program combine increased physical activity with a healthy eating plan that includes nutrient-dense food. Nutrient-dense food are, right, those vegetables, kale. I keep going back to kale because that's what I eat. Okay. All right. If you want to get serious about losing weight, you should skip meals. Right? That's false. You should never skip your meals. Okay. If you don't eat, your body's just going to go into a starvation mode and you're not going to lose any weight. Your metabolism's going to grind to a halt because it thinks you're starving. Basal metabolic rate measures how many calories you burn when you are doing nothing. This measurement is ultimately used in figuring out how many calories a day you should consume. But the average recommended daily allowance of intake of calories is 2,000 calories. Okay, but you can, when you figure out your BMI, you can narrow it down specifically to your height and weight. Formulas for basal metabolic rate consider weight, height, gender, and age. Remember, you can go on the CDC's website, add all that in, and you can see what your BMR is. Okay. The Harris-Benedict equation is accurate in predicting the amount of daily calories you need. It is less accurate for people who are very muscular or very overweight. So very muscular, meaning you burn more calories because muscles require more energy. And if you're overweight, you need to lose that weight, so you're not going to eat near as many calories as the standard person. No? Muscle mass helps burn calories, true or false? It's true. Right? Lack of sleep can affect your weight. It can also increase your risk for diabetes. You didn't know that, did you? Right? Neither did I. But you got to get your 8 hours of sleep, people. To increase your metabolic rate, you should drink more water and avoid fasting. Okay. The water helps with transfer nutrients around your body and increases your metabolism. Okay. So, I mean, how do you lose weight? One, you got to increase your physical activity. That's the easy part for me. The hardest part is adjusting your calorie intake. Okay. So you got to change the way you eat and how much calories you're taking in. There was actually a scientist that lost weight by eating nothing but Twinkies. So he proved the fact that it's all calorie based. Now, he wasn't getting any proper nutrients because all he was eating was the Twinkies, but he did lose weight because his calories were only so much that he was intaking. Okay, so to manage weight change, okay, these are some of the things. Have you ever tried any of these things to manage your weight? Following weight loss programs that promise quick results. You see the ads all the time for those pills. Everybody wants to do it the easy way, okay? Relying on special products or formulas. A lot of those products you don't know what they're going to do to your body. You're going to have harmful effects. Okay, trying to lose more than a half a pound to a pound per week. Remember what I talked about? 3 to 5 pounds per month is what is a good way to lose weight. Okay, and then eating fewer calories a day than recommended for your age and height. You guys are still growing, so you don't need to be going on a restrictive diet. And then this is the big one. Don't ever skip meals. Breakfast, lunch, dinner. Okay, always eat those 3 things. That's why the Army, you guys went to JCLC. It was breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We all ate it. Okay, but managing a healthy weight is about what you eat, how much you eat, and how much you exercise. Okay, those 3 things. So if you want to figure out your BMR, which is your weight plus your height minus your age. So let me do it here. Let me figure out my BMR right here. Okay, so my weight is 207 plus my height in inches, 70 inches, minus my age, 55. It says 222. I'll have to figure that one out. Okay, and exercise 2 is how many calories? Oh, here we go. I'll do it on this. I didn't realize I had to times it by that stuff. Okay, so 655 plus 207 plus 4.7 times 70 minus 4.7 times 55 equals plus 655. Mine is only 1,500 calories a day. Yeah, I'm really blowing that out of the water. Okay. So you see, even I need to work on it. And these are the questions you need to ask on this exercise too. And again, these will be posted in the Google Classroom along with the slides. Right? All right. If you exercise more, would you want to eat more? Nah, I always did, unfortunately, because it made my metabolism speed up and I got hungry all the time. Okay. Based on what you've learned so far, will you make any changes in what you eat or how much you exercise? I hope you will. All right, so think about what you know about eating disorders. Okay. I actually mentioned some of those eating disorders in the but you know, many young people spend a great deal of time worrying about their weight and other problems. Sometimes these worries get out of control and an obsession can develop. And that obsession can turn into an eating disorder. See that? This big guy, I'm too fat. Food is my enemy. I hate food, so I'm not going to eat it. I'm going to starve myself. Then you see this skinny girl here. I ate too much. I have to get rid of the food in my stomach. Okay? She's going to throw it up. Here's one of the eating disorders, anorexia nervosa. These are some of the issues with it, okay? This one here, refusal to eat or eating patterns that tightly restrict food intake. They are so afraid of gaining weight, okay? Okay, so some of the signs, these are the signs. And these are the health risks. Look at all the health risks of it. You think, oh, there's no big deal. Sure there is. Malnutrition. Okay? This one right here, slowed heartbeat that may lead to cardiac arrest. There have been famous celebrities that have died from this eating disorder. Okay? And it's something that's a psychological disorder that you really have to get professional help to overcome. Okay, another one is bulimia nervosa. These are the binge eating episodes, and then you throw it up or take a bunch of laxatives to get rid of it or purge it. Okay, these are the health risks. Again, malnutrition. This one right here, because you're throwing up all the time and that stomach acid damages your teeth, throat, and mouth issues. Right? And then I did not know that repeated use of laxatives will cause kidney or liver damage. And that's a new one. Right? Now we have the binge eating disorder. And I got to confess, you know, I've binge ate a bunch of stuff before. We were over in Afghanistan where somebody got some nachos, cheese Doritos in, and you know, I ate a whole bag in one sitting. Okay? But eating until you feel overly full. You know, it's always the comfort foods, right? Cookies, ice cream, anything like that, chocolate. Okay? It can happen to anybody. Any of these eating disorders can happen to anybody. But here's some of the health risks of that: depression, guilt, and shame. Okay. Here's some other unhealthy eating behaviors. You know, compulsive overeating. You know, you've seen those people who just eat all the time around the clock. It doesn't matter. And obviously, the extreme dieting. Okay. You just so obsessed on each bite of food that's going to put some weight on you that can actually lead to these other disorders. Always seek professional help if you suspect one of your friends or your siblings or whoever has an eating disorder. Right? We got to get it taken care of. It's going to cause some severe health issues. Okay, so people who suffer from blank are at risk from damaging their teeth as well as the tissues in their throat. That's right. That's the bulimia nervosa, where they're throwing up all the time. Repeated use of laxatives can damage. Oops. That's right, the kidneys and the liver. If you have a friend who you believe has an eating disorder, you should guide your friend to seek professional help, man. Take care of your friend. Hey, a leader always takes care of their friends and their subordinates, right? All right, so think about your own body image. Okay, so we have exercise number 3, body image. Okay, use the space below to describe yourself to someone who has never met you. Use the third person in your descriptions. Okay? It'll be interesting to see what you guys send me. I'm actually going to ask you questions on that when you send me your body image stuff. We have the performance assessment task. Okay, I want you to do number 2 in a paragraph. Blank is an eating disorder characterized by self-starvation leading to extreme weight loss. That's right, anorexia nervosa. Blank is a measurement that shows how many calories you burn when you're doing nothing. That's right, that's that basal metabolic rate. That's how many calories per day that you should not go over. The ratio of body fat to lean body tissue, such as bone, muscle, and fluid, is called, you got it, body composition. Body image is the way you see your physical self. Body mass index is a measurement that allows you to assess your body size by taking your height and weight into account. Okay. Bulimia nervosa is an eating disorder in which a person eats large amounts of food and uses laxatives or vomits to purge food. And remember, the teeth loss or gum damage, and the food with empty calories contains calories with little or nutritional value. That's sugar, baby. The blank includes parts of the body that produce hormones to regulate metabolism, growth and development, tissue function, sleep, mood, and other aspects of the body. That's right, the endocrine system. Choosing not to eat for long periods can slow your metabolic rate. This practice is called fasting. Obsession is an emotional state in which something seems so important that you're always thinking about it. And back to the essential question, how can you develop a healthy body image? Okay, and we're going to get to that. Let's see, where else? A good question here is, how do media images influence body images? You always see those stars that are skinny and, you know, the hair is perfect. They look like they never have a bad day. Well, I know that's not true, okay? They use a lot of photoshopping and that stuff. Okay? What do you think are the factors to determine a person's appropriate weight? Now, your culture might deem something appropriate versus if you, anything else that your friends think, okay? And what are those 3 eating disorders? Can you remember them? And how do they damage your health? Thank you for your time. And this concludes the 4 lessons in health and fitness.